Father, first I want to say thank you for waking us up today, dear God. Thank you for getting us here safe and seeing into us with the great traveling mercies, dear God. I thank you for giving me the courage again to come out here today and to do your will, dear God. I ask that with this video, I touch a heart and change a life, Lord, on this journey to self-love. I ask that if we are wrong in any way, dear God, that you correct us, Lord, and that we follow you, dear God. And I ask that this video genuinely, truly touches somebody, dear God. I'm asking for change, Lord, within my life and with everyone who clicks on this video lives, dear God. And I just want to thank you for giving us this platform to be able to touch the world, dear God, and change the world, Lord. And I just want to tell you I love you, Lord. With my whole heart, I love you, and I could never thank you enough, but I thank you, Lord. I thank you, Lord. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
You must know who you're doing. Come through flexing and erection. Not another new one I could try.
We are going to talk about breakups. I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to intertwine that into self-love, but I'm pretty sure it has a lot to do with it. So, again, I'm waiting on Morgan.
Oh, you want me to start? I thought you was going to. Okay. You made me close.
Okay, so if Morgan doesn't mind, I'm going to tell y'all she's going through a breakup. A lot of the times people can overreact when they are feeling a little insecure about a certain situation or themselves. Insecurities can have a lot effect on a relationship, whether you want to stay in this relationship or want to get out of the relationship. And I feel like a lot of times people don't leave relationships when they should because they're insecure or are scared that they won't find somebody else. And a lot of times people do ruin good relationships because they are insecure or scared of getting hurt within that relationship, when really that's not the case. I don't know, and I feel like that's why I stated before, like, you can't really be in a happy, healthy relationship if you haven't found yourself or you aren't comfortable with who you are within yourself. So,
Do you feel like when you were going through a breakup that maybe you had kind of like the skewed view?
yeah.
I kind of feel like that's how I am right now. Like, I don't feel like, not to say I'm not in a place where I can give somebody relationship advice, but I feel like I'm in that, listen, I'm single. I can't tell what y'all to do if y'all in a relationship right now. But I think as far as if we're like relating it to self-care, if that's what you're asking.
Self-love.
Self-love, I mean. I would just say, like, the biggest thing that I try to do with myself, especially in the breakup, is we can naturally find what they did wrong, but I think self-love really comes with being truthful with yourself. So you have to admit the things that you did wrong or could have done better, so that you can grow from that. Otherwise, you're just gonna walk away hurt, but that doesn't really help you. So I think a lot of self-love is just really being truthful with yourself and saying, you know, here's what I felt in the relationship, and here's what I know I have to improve on now that I am single, now that I don't have that relationship anymore.
You have to be comfortable with who you are and willing to accept the things that are not right within yourself, so that you don't put another person through the things that you put your last person through. And yourself, because no breakup is easy unless you just really didn't care about that person, you know, like, and even with that, no, it's still not easy, you know what I'm saying? Like, and just because you are hurting at that time doesn't mean go out and try to pretend to be somebody else. Like, a lot of the times we get to hanging out with people that we would never hang out with, or get to picking up habits that we would have never picked up, such as smoking or drinking or doing drugs like that, like trying to find a coping mechanism, like you, or rushing into something else, rushing into a situationship, rushing into another relationship, jumping into somebody else's bed, trying to cope. Like those things don't help with a breakup. Like you have to feel it. Like you have to go through the trial in order to learn more about yourself, about the situation, and how to go into something else healthy. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the times we as people don't take that time, and we don't learn. It's either a blessing or a lesson, and I try to learn from every situation, every relationship that I'm a part of, whether it's a relationship with my mother, like learning how to communicate, relationship with my best friend, like anything that I'm a part of, I try to learn from. Try to learn what not to do and what not to allow. Because with these relationships, you never know who is really there for you and who is being manipulative and who wants to use you. And you just have to really know yourself and have to really stand up for yourself and not allow it. And we can't just use that example as, oh, I love him or oh, I love her, and keep letting this person get over. That's not self-love. You gotta be happy with who you are and what you do as a person in order to be in that relationship or get over a breakup.
How did you get over your breakup?
Honestly, I've always rushed into something else. I don't even count my last relationships as a relationship. Because I was jumping into it because of the past situation. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like my ex. I'm not gonna say his name, but he's upset that he didn't that I didn't mention him in my last video because I was talking about dating.
So are y'all kind of like friends now, or y'all cordial?
Yeah, we cool.
Okay.
We cool. Well, we're not friends.
Like, he just watching your videos and man, he ain't being spoken of.
Like we not friends. Like we don't hang out, but like we talk on Snapchat, and like he's a funny person, and I think that's why I was confused, and I thought that I liked him, like on an intimate level when I didn't. Like I like him as a person. Like he's funny. But he just used to annoy me. Like everything he did annoyed me. And I was trying to ignore it because I thought that was somebody that I wanted to be with, but it's not.
I can't ignore that. I can't let that.
I can't ignore and that's a part of self-love. Like you have to know what you like and what you want from somebody before you jump into something, because then you're just taking anything and thinking that it's right when it's not.
And I feel like that was like the biggest thing, or maybe even just the first thing that I kind of came to terms with after the breakup is, how can I take this and move forward?
Right.
You know, what did I learn from this? Like moving in my next relationship, like what am I going to accept? What am I not going to accept? What am I going to make sure I nip in the butt at the beginning rather than letting it go on? Because I feel like a lot of times our biggest thing is we fall in love with potential. So it's like, if I take that out of the equation, I nip stuff in the butt right then and there. It's not even necessarily a one and done, but you know what your tolerance is. So now you know, okay, if I don't want this to happen, this is what I got to do. Yeah, this is what I got to do to move forward.
And I feel like we all have that problem with falling in love with the potential of a person. Like, I don't really know you, but I think I do because I made you as this person in my head, and now that's what I'm chasing after.
I love that person.
Yeah, that's what I want. Like, and so like when people do things to us and we are so shocked, like I would never think that you would do this to me. That's because we made them to be this good, perfect person in our head. You gotta learn to stop doing
some
that.
moral code they didn't even have.
Exactly. And that's a problem. That's a problem I have too. I'm not gonna lie. Like you think you love a person, but it's just somebody that you made up in your head. Like.
And sometimes it's not even that they can't be that person. It's just that falling in love with who they could be blinds you from really paying attention to who they are now.
Yeah.
And I feel like the biggest thing I had to learn with my breakup is, because sometimes I do believe that we could still be together, that we still have that destiny to be together. But one thing that I also realized is sometimes you're not meant to be a part of every part of their journey. Like sometimes you got to come in and go out, or maybe not come back at all. But I feel like it's always about you just have faith if you feel like you are meant to be together, but never keep yourself in a situation for potential.
Exactly.
You got to act with what's there because that's what you're dealing with. You're not dealing with nothing in the future.
And you gotta learn to let go. Like when somebody is telling you that they are wanting to move on.
Or showing you.
Yeah, it hurts. Like trying to stick it out and trying to show somebody the good in you. Like, why don't you see how good of a person I am? Why don't you see that I'm perfect for you? But that's what you think. But if you're not,
might not be what they need or want.
exactly, like if you are not perfect for them, it will not work. And don't wait around. I know about waiting around.
Okay.
And it's not fun. And that's how you end up putting yourself in other situations, like waiting around for a person that probably will never want to be with you. That probably doesn't even deserve you. Like, okay, I'm gonna play with this dude's feelings because I'm just waiting on such and such to get his act right and to realize who I am. And a lot of the times we are in denial and don't notice that that's what we're doing.
Now, I can't lie. It might be different if you let them know that up front. Like, hey, listen, this is exactly what's going on.
And that's not healthy because you can miss that on the perfect man or woman. You could miss out on the perfect woman or man because you are waiting for somebody that doesn't deserve you or doesn't want you. And I know that that's hard to like see that there is somebody out there that doesn't want you. Because I be feeling like everybody should want me. Like everybody that I want should want me. Like, why don't you want me?
Because you everything, right?
And that's a problem. Like, I'm thinking I'm all this and I'm all that. And I could be. I still think I am. I still think I am. But you are not perfect for everybody. Just like everybody's not perfect for you. It could be a good man to me. You know what I'm saying? He could be everything I want. He could be fine, have a good job, nice car, no kids. But maybe Morgan wants a man that don't have no job and got a bunch of kids.
Why I gotta want that? Why I gotta want a man with all the kids?
Not saying that that's what she wants, but that you know what I'm saying? Like, not everybody is perfect for you. And say that guy that I want that don't have no kids and a nice job is chasing Morgan down. And I'm like, why not want me?
Because that's what I'm right.
Because I'm not perfect for him like Morgan is. And you just have to...
By your checklist, they may be perfect, but that might not be the person. He might have all of those things that you see, but he might not be the person.
Exactly. And you might not be the person. Like, just accept it and move on. And it's like rejection is the hardest thing I ever have to deal with in my life. I hate being rejected. I hate being rejected. And that's with anything in my life, as far as dating, as far as jobs, as far as anything that I'll go after and I won't, and I don't get it, like that rejection kills me. And I personally have to learn to just let it go. And it may not be meant for me. And that's what you have to look at it as, especially in these relationships. Like, this was not the person God destined for me to be with at this moment. Because you never know what can happen. Like, all my exes, every time they come back, they be like, I didn't realize how good of a woman you were when I had you, and now it's too late.
They all come
back, actually. Like,
they all, I don't care. They all come back.
They all come back. They all come back, I'm telling you. It never fails. But you just gotta know when it's time to stop accepting them back. Like, you ain't changed. Or maybe you have, and I haven't. And my growth is more important than this what if.
You grow when you make that decision not to stay. When you make that decision to say, okay, this just isn't working for me right now. And it's not even to say that it won't ever work, But I think sometimes you even have to set that boundary and say, listen, it has gotten to a point where you ain't hearing
no
what I'm
return.
saying. Yeah.
And I don't know, I can't give you tips on how to heal a broken heart. Because I don't know, it all hurts differently. Like, you know, when that time comes, don't sit at home in front of the TV crying, depressed, sleeping on your couch, eating
Okay, because you still broke up.
Listen, because
doing all of that,
eating and it's not gonna make it better. And I'm not gonna say don't cry, because holding it hurts a lot worse than letting it out. But just
so I work with seniors or whatever. And we have to do a lot of training because statistics say that 65 and older, you have a higher rate of depression. You know, you don't have that sense of purpose. You're not going to work anymore, etc. Long story short, they were saying one of the things that you have to do is embrace your feelings. Stop looking at it like it's a stigma or a bad thing, or why do I feel this way? In the sense of, I can't feel this way, but look at it as, why am I crying? What triggered my crying? What did it? So you can start to figure it out, and then that's how you address it, so you can move forward. So the biggest thing, like you said, is you can't tell somebody not to cry, but the thing is just to embrace it. Be sad. Be sad for that 5 minutes. Let your tears out, and then keep going on about your day.
Yeah, and like she said, noticing what triggers your sadness. That's important. Especially with going through a breakup with somebody you just spent almost every day with, shared every memory with. I'm telling you, you hear one song or see one date, and it's like all over. You just gotta, like she said, embrace it and try to move on from it. And yeah, like, embrace your feelings for a little while, but once it gets to a certain point where it's affecting your life, like, you gotta let it go. Like, when you get to gaining weight because of this depression, or missing out on new memories with important people in your life, like your family and friends, like, you have to stop it. You have to stop it at a certain point. And I'm not saying it'll be like hours later, because of course you're not going to be over it hours later, but just don't dwell on it too much. And I know it's easier said than done, because when my heart is broken, I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to see nothing. I don't want to hear nothing. I just want to be in my room in the dark. Hi guys, sorry to cut the video short, but as you know, I'm working on time management and keeping my videos from being so long, so I can keep you focused so that you can gain everything that's meant for you. So I will do a part 2. So just check into it, and make sure you guys comment, like, subscribe, and share. And comment any feedback, anything you feel that I may have said that touched you, let me know. Anything that I may have said that you don't agree with, let me know. And I can learn from you, just like I want you to learn from me. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Gift of Gorge. Bye.